Here it go.
Yes, sir. The boys are back in town.
Rap Sports News.
RSN podcast. Yeah.
Things getting weird out here.
Oh, man. They don't seem like it's not stopping. It's like consistent, right?
Yeah. Week number 15.
Oh, man. These weeks are flying by, but they're full of everything.
Yeah, so much going on. Let's start with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. They got into a little Twitter beef this week.
Oh, man. It seems like one of those relationships that will never, like, get right. You see those people that's like, all right, they got beef. They almost fight. They fight. And then, like, the auntie get them together like, all right, I got to make this right. But it's still that animosity.
Oh, yeah.
Any little time to throw a jab at each other, like they always go for it.
I believe Cardi briefly had out a new song and took it down. And they said that she was copying Nicki Minaj, her Roman flow, or a cheap imitation of her Roman flow.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's tough because I could see how they could take jabs at each other and stuff like that. But I feel like Cardi got too much talent as far as just like her own charisma to like try to copy Nicki, and vice versa. Same Nicki. Yeah. I don't think Nicki got any reason to copy Cardi. But it could have been one or two things. I'm thinking either one, Cardi tried something new, and it did sound too much like Nicki, and she was like, "Yo, I ain't had nothing to do with that. Like, I was experimental type of thing. I ain't mean for it to get out. I don't even know how it got leaked."
Right.
Or she could have really just had something experimental that got leaked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, but those two going back and forth.
Yikes.
And being petty.
Yikes. Y'all got too much money for this, man.
Right. So, artist Al Robot, FN Mecca, got canceled this week.
Rightfully so, man. Why are we?
Because the computer kept saying the N-word.
Why are we making rapping robots?
Right.
Like, isn't that what auto-tune is for? You can sound like a robot and have that personalized, harmony to it. Why you gotta have a rapping robot? I don't get it.
It was I didn't know too much about it until this week. I checked out one song, and I'm guessing like the way they created, like they had a real rapper's voice, but I think the computer like makes the song kinda.
Yeah, I mean I don't know how the whole process of it, but it's like for me, I just couldn't get into it. It's like just knowing that a robot was involved at all, like it takes away everything from the connection to the music,
Automation. The thing about it, like a robot or computer, whatever it is, it's not able to have that feeling that an artist can give you,
Nah. Like, for example.
Like, Al Robot can never be Kanye West.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, I mean, you talking a robot can spit out an album in a day, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You got unlimited music that you can't feel. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, yeah, you got all this music that nobody can connect with.
Also, they didn't like the way it looked. They felt like it was, kind of cheap how the imagery of it.
Yeah, the marketing behind it. I mean, I don't, I feel like the people who, and I could be wrong, so don't take this the wrong way, but it felt like the people involved didn't think it through all the way. Mm-mm. Like, it was just like, well, you know how you have an idea and you're like, oh, man, it'd be funny if you could do that. But they just had the money to do it, and it was like, okay, we're going to do it. That's what it felt like. They didn't consult nobody who really make music.
And it was a flop. Womp, womp, womp. All right, Fat Joe.
Joe, what Joe talking
about? His teachers. Talking about a teacher. I think it was in New Jersey. And parents got mad because they didn't like the way they thought she looked too sexy.
Okay, so initially when I heard this story, I'm like, what? There's got to be more to this. So I'm hearing the story is that a lot of the moms are mad because they ain't want their husbands to be taking the kids to school with this chick in there, like dressing the way she's dressing, provocative and this and that. And so initially, I'm like, you can't be mad at how somebody look, cause like as Joe said, he was like, well, if you're gonna discriminate against the good looking teachers, you gotta discriminate against the bad looking teachers, right? The ugly ones, right? But then I hear that she's posting Snapchats and Instagrams in the classroom, like dancing and twerking and stuff.
What?
I didn't see it. That's what I heard. So
what's her Instagram?
So I think is a fine line. If it was just she was coming to work doing her job, teaching, and she just got crazy amount of haters, that's one thing. But if it is true that she's, on her personal Instagram and Snapchat and all that,
being a little too spicy,
being a little too spicy, and you a school representative and you doing it at the school.
Okay, I get that.
I get a little,
Well, shout out to her. Yeah, tone it down if you being spicy.
Word.
So, Khaled dropped a new one this week.
Another one.
Said God did.
Another one.
And Jay-Z showed up and showed out.
Yeah, man.
Lil Wayne and Rick Ross did too, but Jay-Z definitely stole the show this week.
Yeah, and this is, every time Jay get on anybody album, he always kill a verse. You know what I'm saying? As a feature, he always come on and do his thing. But everybody was like, yo, this is the best Jay-Z verse ever. Mm-hmm. This is like top of the top, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, this is the question. Is it hype or is it fact?
Nah, it's all that is hype. I'm thinking about my favorite Jay-Z verses, like on songs like Allure or Lucifer, Can't Be Life, stuff like that. Or Lost One. That's my favorite Jay-Z verses.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it was just the excitement around him, one, being on the track with them, but then two, I felt like he rapped longer as a feature. He rapped longer on a verse that he ever has, or one of his longer verses
that came out recently.
Yeah, anytime recently as a feature. And I think it was just that aura around one. Normally he'll pop in, hit you with a crazy verse, throwing some jewels, and he just slide out. Mm-hmm. Like on the last Khaled album, on the Sorry Not Sorry, or on the Drake joint,
Love
All.
Even the Pusha T joint he just did.
Right. And he'd come in, he'd kill it, and he'd keep it moving. This one, he was like the extended J verse. You know what I'm saying? It was like he hit you with the boom boom, the normal J, but then he kept going, and I think that's what made everybody go crazy.
Right. So you heard Lil Wayne's verse and Ross on it. I'm thinking about that, right? And I'm thinking, like, if I have those two on the song and then Jay-Z comes in there and does that, do you take them off or do they belong on it?
Nah, I mean, I think the fact that they're on it catapults his verse even more. Because it's like, you just heard Ross, you just heard Wayne, and then it's like Jay separates himself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you think he's good. Oh, you think he's great. What do you think about him? Right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was purposeful. I think, Khaled might have heard their verses and then he heard theirs and he's like, hey Jay, you want me to just like leave you? And he's like, nah, let me just let me show the difference between me and them.
I think for me, I would have went back and told Wayne and Ross I got good news and bad news. The good news is Jay-Z's on the song. Bad news is
Jay-Z's on the song.
You guys aren't on the song no more. Who made the song? Hope did.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Khaled. Shout out to Wayne, Ross, and Jay. Y'all did your thing.
Yeah, man. All right. Fetty Wap.
Oh, man.
Yeah, baby. I did it. Fetty Wap pled guilty on drug charges. I think it carried a 5-year penalty.
Never let that trap queen go, boy.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. All that money that he made back in 2015, like you spend it that fast.
Man, it's I hate to see anybody get, especially it's like when you see people who you like make it and they do good, you're like, all right, yeah, he made it out, he did it, and then to get pulled back into some crap, it's like, oh man,
Right.
you know, it's disappointing, man. It's disappointing.
Out of Jersey, he was like the only one out of Jersey to make it at that time.
Yeah,
Mainstream like that.
yeah, always rooting for him.
It was like a jump from Redman all the way to Fetty.
Yeah, because
There's not a lot
who's
of
in
Jersey
between?
rappers.
Dang, I can't name.
All I can think of is like Queen Latifah, Redman, and Fetty Wap.
Yeah, I
And,
mean,
the battle rapper everybody loves.
Sue Surf.
Yeah, Sue Surf.
Yeah. Shout out to Surf, Arsenal, Suge. But yeah. Yeah. It's Fetty, man. Hoping the best for you, homie.
Yeah, hold your head.
Yikes. Yikes.
Moving to news.
Uh-oh. We got a lot of news this week.
Yeah, man. So there is a trend starting in America that people like to smoke weed more than they like smoking tobacco now.
Yes, it's crazy. I forget the exact numbers, but basically they were showing how drastic it was been. It's been a completely flop, right? So like back in the 60s, it was like everybody was smoking cigarettes, and that was like the thing to do. And now it's complete opposite. Everybody's like, hey, you should legalize marijuana, and then you should actually make it illegal to smoke cigarettes out in public.
Right. And that's crazy.
I can't disagree because, I've known people, I have family members, close people who passed away from smoking cigarettes. So I've always been against smoking cigarettes. I'm not a smoker, but I would go the other route. I don't know anyone who died from marijuana.
No.
Like, I don't know anyone who died from marijuana.
That's not realistic.
So
at least not like ODing or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Maybe excessive smoking can lead to something, but
not cancer.
Not like cigarettes.
Yeah, not lung cancer and all that other things. And I think it's about time, man. It's a new day. Some people are against smoking completely. Doesn't bother me, but it's like I would prefer marijuana over cigarettes just because of the fact that the things that it causes, the cancer, the secondhand smoke, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is
and the
really,
poisons that they use to make it.
Right. It's like constantly harming the body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So, New York.
Yeah.
So the Supreme Court said that it is now lawful for New Yorkers to open carry.
Yes, man, that's crazy because like being born up top and then living down here like half and half of my life, it's like I never thought I'd see the day when you was like open carry
in the city.
In the city, like what?
Yeah, it's been going crazy out there though, so I guess
like it's normal down here. Like
right.
Everybody got a gun.
You go to Sam's Club, you're gonna see that.
Yeah, everybody got a gun. But up there, man, it's crazy. I mean, I'm happy for them because they can protect themselves.
Right.
But with especially with all the high crime that's been going on lately, it's like people have been getting hurt really bad lately. And they need to protect themselves. I just hope everybody, be responsible.
Right. Remember, it takes a good guy to take down a bad guy.
Yes.
But don't all be bad guys.
Yeah, we don't want too many.
Then I guess a bad guy can take down a bad guy too.
It's about to turn into Gotham City.
Right. All right. So yeah. Speaking of shooters, in Medina, Georgia, there was a woman who walked in there. Apparently over, I don't know the rumors exactly, but it sounds like could be some affairs going on.
Yeah.
She ended up shooting 3 people.
Yeah, it's crazy. I heard from an inside source about this, that there was a woman. First, the news reported, I think it was a man at first.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a man.
Yeah, I thought it was a man, but then they said it was a woman. Basically, something was happening inside the warehouse where 2 people were having an affair. Things wasn't going according to plan, and the lady went in there with a gun and tried to shoot the guy, but ended up shooting the wrong people. Right. She didn't have good aim.
Very bad shot.
And yeah, it's but we're starting to see a whole lot of. I mean, this is not the first, right? We're seeing a whole lot of things where people are going back to work and shooting people.
Right.
Like before, it was like a rare occasion. Like, oh man, you hear about that? That happened. Every few years or something. Now it's like
happening like every few weeks.
Every few weeks, somebody's getting shot at work, and it's sad. So I think there's gonna have to be a lot of ways to beef up security. Something, man, because even like in Midtown here, a lady went back and to get revenge, just like the revenge streak that's going on. People going around get revenge on people who they felt did them wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Not before we was talking about restaurant people working in the service industry and them getting attacked and stuff like that. But now it's like it's all everybody's on the table. Like enough is off limits.
It's like anywhere you're at. So guys, be aware of your surroundings and how people are acting. Word. The thing also with that case that I was interested in seeing is that initially she got charged with 3 counts of aggravated assault. So that kind of threw me off a little.
Yeah, I don't get that. I feel like
I think they can prove it better, but
yeah,
it seems like a weird charge.
Yeah,
she didn't even get unlawful discharge.
Couldn't she got aggravated assault for just fighting somebody?
That's what I thought.
I thought if you could be at a restaurant and get aggravated assault, just get into a fight.
Right.
But you go into a place of work and you're shooting people.
I think it was because it was non-lethal. Since she was such a bad shot, I think she shot everyone in the leg.
Yeah, but oh man, see, you could really argue this one. Like I never want to argue nobody to go to jail, but come on, folks.
I'm thinking if it was a man, would it have been aggravated assault?
No. Send him up the river immediately. It would have been attempted murder.
Take the long road, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yikes.
So, victim of police brutality, 65-year-old man wins lawsuit of $100 million.
That's crazy.
One of the biggest lawsuits ever won, especially here in Georgia. I think it was Georgia, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Here in Georgia.
They said he's paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what, from the neck down or something?
They said he has little mobility in his arms, but he's paralyzed.
Like, they just ruined a man's life. So it's like, it's tough because no amount of money can make him get back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, you got $100 million. That's great. But this man will never be the same.
Right. Just from, being chased and tased.
And they said that he was never under arrest.
That was the thing, because you're allowed to do what you want if you're not detained.
Yeah, he wasn't detained. He wasn't under arrest. And they tased him in the back, and he fell and face planted on concrete.
And broke his neck.
And now, if that man had grandkids or whatever, like his whole life is gone.
Mm-hmm.
He's still alive, but
he needs a caregiver till his dying day now.
That's terrible.
Mm-hmm. But we are glad that he won his lawsuit, though.
Yeah.
That's the silver lining.
Yeah, but the cop is still a cop.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
He's been on duty, and the police department said they have no comment about that.
Yeah, I got no comment either.
All right, Draymond Green gave an inspirational speech.
Oh, man, I loved it. Go Warriors. Draymond was getting at the people. I think he was at, like, Summer League or something, basically an open run. I don't know what it was, with some NBA players and some guys trying to make the team. And they was slacking, man. They was Draymond beating them in sprints and drills and stuff like that. And he's basically, like, went off and told them, like, hey, you gotta, one, I can't be beating you up and down the court. I can't want it more than you.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, the ability to want it, to
push yourself.
He's like, that's a skill. Anybody can do it, but who's willing to do it?
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that speech he gave because it shows the true mentality that he has, that why they win championships.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta have that mentality to be great. And I appreciate that from him. he gave a great speech. Draymond, shout out to you. It was something else you said in there that was really good too. He said you got to know your role. You got to know your role. He was saying one of the young guys was jarring out, and they was talking back and forth. And he was like, when I was talking back and forth to you, you started taking jump shots and doing all the stuff that you normally don't do. He was like, you doing all this, like, you normally don't do this. He's like, you're not going to go nowhere doing that. You got to play your role. He was like, you ain't got no offensive rebounds ever since then. You ain't get no rebounds. You ain't do no hustle work. You just wanted to show off, basically, right? So everybody, if you young coming up, whether you in sports or not, just in life, you get to hear that. Sometimes you need that reality check coming from someone who's a champion. It's like, hey, you got to hustle harder.
Right. Push yourself.
Push yourself.
All right. Kyrie and KD.
Yes.
Staying in Brooklyn.
Well, as of right now, I mean, things change so much every week. Now they're saying KD is like, oh, I'm going to stay in Brooklyn now after demanding a trade, naming teams he want to go to, this and that, and now they're staying in Brooklyn. What's up with your man, son?
Yeah, KD definitely being dramatic, but, started in New York. I think his contract's still not up no time soon. So.
Nah, he got like 4 years, I think. He got like 4 years. But he demanded a trade and this and that. Now Kyrie, I think he got a year left. It's gonna be interesting to see. Like, are they gonna try to make a final push to get him out of there, or is it gonna be more drama on the court this year? And then we can't forget about Ben Simmons on the team. He ain't play a game. I don't know when. He just collecting money.
Right.
I would try to get rid of him, man. I think he's not gonna help nobody. I don't know, but we shall see. And then we have Bronny, right? Bronny James. It's funny. Everybody is talking about Bronny James and the hype around the dunk, like we talked about last week, and this and that. But I really, I hope he does good, man. I don't know. It's something about this kid. I was watching his tapes this week. I said tapes. I sound old. I was watching his YouTube, and I was just watching the rankings and comparisons. Shout out to Bronny James. I think he's gonna be something special. I see something in him.
Yeah, definitely. His dad trained him to be a basketball player for sure.
Oh yeah, he was born.
He grew up in it.
He was born for it. He was born for it.
Any other trades?
Yes. Patrick Beverley to the Lakers. It's gonna be. He brings defensive tenacity. He's a pest. He is that guy who get under people's skin and get them out the game, get them ejected. But there's one problem.
What?
He don't get along with Russell Westbrook. So people are like,
damn.
They feel even more that the Lakers want to trade Westbrook. All right, so this is the scenario. Russell Westbrook had, in most people's eyes, a terrible season. He's been getting hate from everybody all season long. All you hear about is trade him. And then they go pick up somebody he don't get along with. So people are like, okay, he's getting traded. I don't know. I hope they make it work. I hope Westbrook comes back. I've been listening to Skip Bayless too much.
Right.
I hope he come back and have a great season with Patrick Beverley.
All right. Anything else to add?
No, man. Definitely go ahead and subscribe, share the content. Check out Canary's YouTube. Check out my YouTube. Spread the love, man. We got so much going on out here. Hopefully, I don't sound too terrible just getting over a little cold or whatever, but spread the love. If you see somebody out there and they having a bad day, say something, do something to cheer them up, do something to put a smile on their face, because there's so much hate going on right now. We need to spread the love.
Oh, yeah. A lot of hurt people out here. Guys, if you made it to the end of this, thank you. Leave your comments below. What you think, what you like. I'm Canary Valens.
Slyce.
Peace.